Good morning, champions. Medicine here. And this is our daily oracle. So I'd like to say welcome, welcome, welcome. This is just to offer us a little bit of uplifting, hope, courage, love, whatever the spirits want to offer for us today as we go on our journeys, as we move through space and time, in and out of space and time. We're just here to get an oracle reading card that for some and potential gateway. Potential gateway. Mm. Ooh. Always I take a second just for those of you who are watching the video to take a look at the card and just kind of acknowledge what feeling you get from it. Your feelings tell you a lot. Whatever you're feeling, that is important in this moment right now. And the way that your feelings react to the card, your reaction to the card, that is very important. Your reaction to the words potential gateway, those are very important too. That is your intuition, that is your guides, your spirits. They're trying to tell you something. So really pay attention to your feelings. Pay attention to your thoughts. Pay attention to the images that you get when looking at this card, when looking at potential gateway. So I want to read a passage from the oracle itself, from the book itself about this card. And one of the things that's interesting to me is that this is the last. It's number 50, as you can see. So it is the last card in the deck. Well, yes, it is the last card in this particular deck, and in a sense, that is an indication of attainment and completion and culmination. It's reaching the climactic point of something. And this potential gateway is walking you into everlasting immortality, eternity, in a sense. This potential gateway is walking you through. It's almost, here it is in the spirit world, and it is walking you into the material world renewed and revitalized and purified, and walking through an all new person, and walking through the tree of life, which is in many folklore, the tree of life is the passageway through the different worlds that are shared here within our cosmic galaxy. So very interesting that we have the tree of life, and it, we have a heart at the center that is for love, right? Let love be your guide. Let love be your doorway. And then I don't know if you can notice, but for some reason I'm starting to notice, like, there are little creatures here, but like this looks like a little spirit to me, a little stone spirit that's just kind of hidden within the ground, and then you have unicorns. So this is really beautiful. Potential gateway. It says, a new course or route is coming into your awareness. It is time to utilize your knowledge and complete the task at hand. As you finish one aspect of your life, begin thinking about what you would like to do next. This is part of your life's journey. You are constantly shifting and developing. You may feel contentment, fulfillment, and pride because you have accomplished something. There is productivity and reward as a bonus for your efforts. The good fortune you realize is evidence that you are putting sufficient energy into your life's journey to get out of it all you desire. So one of the things that came through to me for that is that this is a daily reading. And so when we hear the words, we've completed something, one journey of our life has ended and another is beginning. When we hear something to that effect, we may think to ourselves, it's only one day, or we might think to ourselves, I've got a journey, a bigger journey at hand. I got this big journey, and so I don't necessarily feel complete. I don't necessarily feel like my life is coming to a different place in my life. And part of that is that obviously we have purpose. We have purpose. We have a place that we're trying to go. We have things that we're trying to do. We have a goal. We have an intention. We have something that we're trying to attain and aspire to be, aspire to do. And that journey can seem very long and hard. And while we're consciously focused on that, it is also important that we acknowledge the subtle occurrences and completions that happen in our lives that mark a turning point in our lives, in our journey. There are things that we do that mark turning points in our journey, and we don't even know about it because we get so involved and enraptured. We get so wrapped up in the day-to-day responsibilities of our world, of our society, the things that we have to do. We get so wrapped up in that when little victories, subtle victories, not even a little victory, very profound. How about I say that? Small yet profound victories happen for us. We shrug them off. We barely notice them. We barely notice what a victory it is that it happened in the first place, because our minds are so focused and we sort of have tunnel vision. It's sort of one of those things. I think I remember when I was a little kid. I don't know, somebody, I heard, I got a message. You can't just enjoy being there. You have to enjoy the ride on the way. The ride on the way is half the fun, and being there is the other half of the fun. So you're going somewhere, yeah, but you got to be able to enjoy the ride along the way. And we can get so caught up in only thinking about what it's going to be like when we get there that we don't enjoy the experiences that we have along the way. They can be our biggest teachers. We learn a lot. Like when you're trying to be something, when you're trying to do something, um, a transformation happens with you, in you, around you. And it can be a very gradual transformation. And that transformation process is what is most important. It's not necessarily about where you're going to be. It is more about what you be now. It is more about the process that gets you there. It's the journey um, that that is ultimately the most important thing. The outcome um, is awesome. It's beautiful, and it is the journey. It is the transformation of the caterpillar to the butterfly, not the butterfly itself, that makes the butterfly beautiful and profound. See, we see the beauty of the butterfly only lasts for, a few weeks. It plants it migrates, it plants its eggs, its seeds, and then it eventually that beauty dies. That beauty is very transitory. It's short-lived. The journey of the transformational process, the journey from when that seed becomes a pupa, becomes a caterpillar, and everything that the caterpillar has done along the way to creating, the journey, the nourishment that it's taken growing up, and um, the cocooning process, and then the transformation to becoming the butterfly, that transformation, you know, all of that. The butterfly is the end result, is the goal, but the caterpillar, the pupa, when it takes into that cocoon stage, has absolutely no clue what's happening to it. It's in absolute surrender before it becomes reborn and becomes renewed and spreads its joy and spread its love and spreads its beauty into the air. But that beauty is transitory. It's short-lived. It's not everlasting. It is everlasting. It's totally everlasting. It's totally memorable and everlasting in one way, but on a physical level. I think that the point that's trying to come through with all of this is that life is change. Life is change, because we can get to a really good place in our lives, and we don't want to diverge from that out of fear. Finally we get somewhere that we've been trying to get here all this time, as comfortable, as good. We can get to a really good place in our lives, and then when it's time for us to uh be again, to begin again, it's uncomfortable, it's scary to begin again. And but find if we find a way to that process, everything that we've achieved, everything that we've attained along the way, no one can take that away from us, because we achieved that, we attained that. No one can take it. Still lives within a cellular memory. It still lives within our imagination. It still lives within ourselves. It's a reminder for us every day of our love, of why should we respect ourselves, of why we should love ourselves, of who we are, what we can do, what we can achieve. And it's those little small things all along the way that we barely notice. It's those little small things all along the way that we barely notice that tell us about what we can achieve, that surprise us. Whoa, I didn't know that I could do that. Wow, I actually did it. I actually finished this. And though it may not necessarily be the end game point that you're trying to get to, it's a definite turning point in your life. For those of you who know exactly what I'm talking about, those little small victories that are not so small after all. That's what I'm talking about. Those little small victories that are not so small after all. They mean so much to us. And they in themselves can represent a turning point, can represent a new passage, a gateway, a portal into a new life of existence. They can represent us being reborn, coming back to life, doing something we never thought we could do. It's those little things along the way, they matter most. We'll get to where we're going. We'll get to where we're going. But those little things all along the way, they matter most. They're the butterfly. Those little things, those little transitory things that just happen along the way, that just happen for a few weeks, those little short, beautiful moments that we have, those are the butterflies. Those are the transformation, what we transform into. Those things. And we need to hold on to them. They tell us something about ourselves, something that nobody can take away from us, no matter what. And each and every stepping point around that circle, up that ladder, backwards, forwards, wherever you go, there's going to be our Mother Gaia. There's going to be the world tree, Yggdrasil. There's going to be life. You will be loved.